Welcome to week 12. This marks the final week of our 12-week-long journey together on the module BIM for Existing Buildings. I hope that you have found this entire process to be enriching and fulfilling, and that you have learned much more about BIM and any other new and emerging technologies that are soon to proliferate the facilities management sector. Before we move on, let's recapture what we've learned so far since last week. So last week you should have received the fundamentals of laser scanning technologies, and by now you should also have a indicative guidance on the cost specification and the performance of various types of laser scan devices, as well as the various modes of delivery of laser scan devices throughout the construction stages as well as the post-construction stages. And all of this, you should by now be aware, very much intertwines with the handover of an as-built BIM model, as well as the upkeep of an as-built BIM model. And you should also be able to explain how the advent of machine vision technologies could help augment the way in which we capture and develop content from point cloud datasets into as-built BIM models. And when you do think about all of these, please bear in mind that this should all be in the context of facilities management and the post-construction activities. Our pre-sessional activity is for students to review all of the module documentation available thus far, and also as well as the reading materials that are offered. In addition, I suggest that each student also reviews the lecture materials from each class taught. Today's session is going to be a workshop activity. Now, this marks the very last and final opportunity for students to get any urgent queries answered that relate to the coursework submission. This will be a way for you to polish in an ad hoc manner your current and ongoing narrative and to ensure that you haven't missed out on any key points prior to submitting your consultancy report. It is suggested that in order to not waste time during this very short window of an opportunity, everybody comes prepared to this particular lecture with questions in advance. So I suggest that you develop a short Word document with no more than 10 to 15 questions that relate to your coursework assessment prior to submitting it. Your post-sessional activity is very simple. This will only be the final submission of your coursework. Your coursework is requested to be submitted electronically via Moodle on the 16th of January. And please remember that the time deadline is 12 noon. So please ensure that your file format is in the correct format. This should either be a Word document or a PDF. And no more than one document upload is permitted for this particular coursework. So if you do have any appendices that you want to include as part of your report, make sure that it's all part and parcel within that one document that you upload. And as far as this module is concerned, that will be your last activity to submit your final coursework. But prior to submitting that final coursework, it is suggested that you review your module guide and the marking sheet one final time. So the marking sheet can be downloaded from Moodle, and it is also available within your module guide documentation. So right before you submit, it is suggested that each student carefully checks the marking sheet and does a initial evaluation on what they would expect to receive out of the coursework based upon the work that you've put in. Just ensure and check where you anticipate your coursework to fall into based upon the work that you've so far conducted. Now the marking sheet is available on Moodle, and the module guide may again refresh your mind on some of the key things that are required of you from this coursework prior to submission. Thank you for listening.